So I think it's always great to present your ideas to an audience, and that helps work ideas out. But in general, I don't think that blogging is all that helpful for research. I blog on much more than my research, for example. And really, any successful blogger has got to do that. There are, however, some exceptions. I think about an incredible period, about the blogging that went on during the financial crisis of 2008, 2010. That was absolutely incredible. To see people like Paul Krugman and Tyler Cowen and Scott Sumner, to see them work out and craft their ideas in real time, incorporating new information, responding to the critics, learning from the critics, coming better to understand the state of the economy, even their own ideas, that was an amazing moment in intellectual history. And because that crisis was so severe, you know, unemployment was increasing, GDP was falling, people were frightened. The blogging, it really mattered. Treasury Secretary Geithner, he invited a bunch of bloggers, including myself, to talk with him and Treasury officials during that time. It was astounding. Now, I don't assume that we had any direct influence on policy, but what you have to understand is that at that time, no one knew what was going on. And everyone was kind of flailing around in the dark, trying to develop ideas and solutions and get information and deal with this huge, incredible problem. And so it was really important to seek out people who were grappling with the data and the theory, and that was the bloggers. So I give Geithner really a lot of credit for seeking outside advice and information. And I assume he did that with a lot of people, not just bloggers. But that idea was really important. We're fortunate today that the stakes aren't quite so high, but that time period, that was really a remarkable period in blogging and in intellectual history. Clearly, there's been a kind of populist backlash and rejection of elites going on really throughout the world. We've seen this kind of backlash in history before. I think most noticeably when classical economics lost its appeal at the end of the 19th century. And after that, of course, we entered a world of socialism, fascism, communism, 2 world wars, the Great Depression. We were really very fortunate that from the ashes of that world, we were able to re-globalize. And again, in the post-World War II era, liberal ideas brought relative peace and prosperity, not just to the Western world, but to India and to China as well. So I worry today that we're going to repeat the errors of the past with the same results. We just started writing one day, back in 2003, and it was pretty interesting because I put up the first post and without telling anybody at all. And within a day or two, it started to get links and commentary. And I thought, hey, maybe there's something to this blogging thing. Our online audience, they're just one click away from leaving us. So writing a blog, you really have to give people something of value quickly. So it can take me, hours to write a single blog post. I sort of think about it this way. If it takes me an extra hour to reduce the time that it will take the reader to really grok the post by just a second, well, then I should do that if we have more than 3,600 readers, right? A economics blogger from India asked me this question quite recently. And he was trying to compete with Krugman and Marginal Revolution and EconLog, and I think he was a little frustrated that his audience wasn't growing as fast as he would like. So I told him to blog in Marathi, which is his mother tongue. There's 75 million Marathi speakers, and I don't know of a single Marathi economics blogger. So he could be a real star. And more generally then, I think at this stage of the game, product differentiation. That's really the way to go. You have to be different on some margin. Well, practice, practice, practice. And some theory as well. In doing videos for Marginal Revolution University, for example. Tyler and I, we looked pretty closely at the academic literature on what kinds of teaching work best in the video medium, and we incorporate that as much as we can. But really, mostly it's just practice and hard work.